Are we live yet?
Are we live?
We're live! Hey,
We're live! Let's do it.
Welcome to FiestaWatch, episode 2 of season 2. Because I'm lazy and I didn't, look.
We just renumbered. That's what we did.
It's a new year. It's a new season, new me.
Exactly.
New show. Same host, Noah Walter. Same co-host, Wyatt Donegan. How you doing?
Pretty good. Okay. I'm barely awake. I was up for the LCK. I'm back in that grind this season, but it's fine. We're gonna get through it.
Yeah, we're gonna get through it. Let's start with LCK because that's freshest in your mind.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So in Korea right now, SKT is on a little bit of a slump. Last night they lost 2-1 to KT Rolster in a series that should have been really hyped, but realistically it looks like a battle of third, fourth. Maybe. Talk to me about SKT right now. They are slumping hard, Wyatt.
Yeah, it's we saw this, during the summer season, the first 4 weeks of the second round robin, where they just, I think maybe not 4 weeks, but they lost, I think 4 or 5 series in a row. It looked really bad. And they seem to be in that point again. And when, especially looking at the first game in this series, they got out, KT out aggression them. I don't know if that's a word, but KT basically punched them in the mouth. And that's not something you really ever see. Because usually SKT is the one dictating the pace. Even when KT wins these games, they're usually pretty narrow. KT almost never wins a game against SKT convincingly.
KT, the way KT been winning games has been really grindy. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, exactly.
Really grindy, really sweaty.
Yeah, very sweaty. But that's what game 3 was. Game 3 was very sweaty. It came down to the wire. But game 1, KT just came out and just clapped him.
Hell yeah!
I think Deft was on. I think he was on Caitlyn or something like that, and he put out I don't know, a ridiculous amount of damage, 39k damage or something like that, and really just kind of they took it to SKT. And SKT responded, or mainly Faker responded.
Faker was playing a video game.
Yeah, because Faker, and that's the thing, this season, while they have been playing pretty poor as a team overall, Faker still has been doing his job.
Yeah.
Which is at least good to see, because as long as the rest of the team can kind of just get their shit together, then they'll be fine, because Faker is still Faker.
Right.
After how many years it's been, Faker is still, arguably the best player in the league and in the world. But right now, this KT team just looks. SKT, their team just looks like they're missing something, and they were switching out top laners in between games. It just seems like they're trying to find
that winning combination.
Yeah, it seems losing Worlds has sent them kind of into a tailspin, and they still haven't really come out of that.
Well, not only that, but they lost their second and third best players respectively in Huni and Peanut. That wasn't indicative of which order. I think they're good. They're both really good players, obviously.
Yeah, they're both very good.
But Bang hasn't done a lot.
Yeah, not really. I mean, he's had his moments, but for the most part, without Peanut as that playmaker, Bang needs to step up a lot more, and that's always kind of been his problem too.
Yeah, and it's I guess Bang gets a pass when Huni and Peanut are chimping out on top side, and then you have Faker in the mid lane. Because then it's teams don't have the resources to look at bot lane even. But right now, teams are just fighting really hard to control mid, and then Bang's not able to step up when he needs to. And it kind of shows, honestly. If we're looking here at SKT's win-loss record, they won their first series of the year against the Rocks Tigers. And I don't mean to demean the Rocks Tigers at all, but they are the Rocks Tigers. So it's not exactly hell yeah, this is indicative of good things to come. Then SKT lost to Jin Air in the the worst series I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, complete with a 94-minute game.
Yeah, just Jesus Christ, what is this?
Longest in history. There was 800 CS or something is the new record.
Over 1,000 CS.
Is it 1,000? Jesus.
It was 999, and it broke the CS counter, and then he got more presumably. And then here they're losing to KT in another close series, but it's still a loss. And they've got Kingzone Dragon X coming up on Friday. I'm not convinced right now that this SKT lineup is even top 4. Is that it feels so weird to say.
No, it feels weird, but I think that's spot on, because you look at it, not only are they all of these series have been 2-1s. Like even when they beat Rocks Tigers, they really had to fight for it, and that's not really something they should have to do. And like you said, not to knock Rocks Tigers, but like Rocks' only win right now is over BBQ Olivers, and that was that was a 2-1. Rocks 2-1 BBQ Olivers, and BBQ
Rocks
Olivers
is fighting to not be bottom feeding right now.
Exactly. So you should be 2-0 that team.
Exactly.
And I'll give you, the Jin Air series. While that was a close loss, like I think Jin Air is better than they've been in a while. But it's still like you're SKT. Like it just shouldn't be happening. Like they need to find that winning combination again, and they need to find it quickly because the LCK this split so far seems like teams that we don't really expect to be that good are actually that good.
Okay, so, like who? Let's call.
I mean, like I think Jin Air is a team that's kind of coming up and showing something that I don't know if a lot of people really saw.
They're showing something.
They're showing something. I mean, like last night against. I mean, granted, it was MVP. But
I like MVP. Hey, MVP went into playoffs last year.
No, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, like Jin Air 2-0.
Half the league makes it to playoffs, but like they made it to playoffs.
Yeah, they made it to playoffs, and Jin Air 2-0'd that team in very convincing fashion. Like the series was over by 1:30. Like it was an hour and a half total time. Nice. Like I think it was a total of 70 minutes in game. It was like a 31-minute win and a 39-minute win.
Nice and clean. Yeah.
Literally, cleaned it out. And then, Jin Air got 2-0'd by KSV, formerly known as Samsung. But I mean, that's Samsung. They're the reigning world champions.
Hell yeah. I know. Really quick, I just want to jump in there. I think while Jin Air's success is great, it's promising for them. I don't know if they'll be able to maintain that necessarily. I think this meta certainly plays into their play style of like waiting till late game and then scaling up. But one team I want to call out is the Africa Freaks, right? And last year they were solidly a middle of the pack team, and they started off hot. Last week, I want to say they beat somebody.
They 2-1 KT.
Yeah. They only played one game last week, and it was like, oh boy, that's awesome. And then they got 2-0'd by Kingzone Dragon X, and they have KSV coming up on Thursday, right?
So they're kind of
getting a bunch of tough matches out of the way. What do you think about this Africa team? Are you ready to call them top 4 in the league right now, even if they lose to the top 2 right now? Or are you hesitant to put them up there?
I think they're close. I want to see, because like you said, they beat KT, which was really good. They got 2-0'd by Kingzone, but Kingzone, Longju is a really good team. Like they're the reigning LCK champions.
Who's Longju?
Kingzone, formerly known as Longju.
Zone Dragon something.
So stupid. I hate all these long names. It's like that, and then in CS:GO we have Quantum, Bellator, Fire that made it to the playoffs, by the way. So I have to keep writing that for another week.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that. So I mean, that's kind of expected from that team. So I want to see how they perform against KSV this week. Actually tomorrow morning, actually. And then I want to see how they do against the Rocks Tigers, because like you said, if they lose to the top tier teams,
but they can consistently smash like
the lower tier, I think that's what really sets you apart. As long as you can
that puts you in the middle. What sets them apart?
I think what sets them apart is when they can get a win against like Kingzone or
KT.
Or KT. I mean, so they got that KT win. So I think they're I'd call them top 4 at the moment.
Okay.
I think they might have potential to be top 3, depending on how things go, depending on how SKT looks as the season goes on. Because right now, I think Kingzone and KSV are probably going to be the top 2 for the foreseeable future, unless something changes. So I think that third and fourth spot right now is kind of is SKT and SKT, KT, and Africa are kind of battling for position there, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Jin Air looking from the outside in.
Yeah, I think Jin Air is sitting in that like 5th to 6th position, almost there, but just not quite ready to kind of reach that next level just yet.
And things will shake out as the weeks go on.
Exactly.
But preliminarily, it's like the teams we expected to be good, and then some of the teams that were like kind of mid-tier, still mid-tier, but better than like the lower mid-tier, I guess.
Exactly,
you could call it. Yep. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about Korea?
I think that's about it. Like, I think we got the big matchup out the way this week. And we'll
what do you mean? We got on Friday. We have a hell of a matchup. KT Rolster versus the Barbecue Olivers.
Oh Lord! Then we've got a KSV versus King Kongdu Monster.
Yeah,
okay. A barn burner.
I kid. King Zone Dragon X versus SKT. Okay, so I think I'm going to read your mind here, and you think King Zone is going to win, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Same. What does SKT have to do in order to try and win the series? Who are you putting the spotlight on?
It's got to be Bang at this point. I think Bang has to really show up because the top lane, I think that's going to be a shuffle for a little bit between Untara and Tall.
Regardless of which top laner SKT uses, they're going to get smashed by
exactly. Yeah. So and then I think Blank does well enough so that he's not necessarily a problem at this point. But I think like Bang really needs to step up. If Bang can't step up, then that's where this team is going to run into trouble because they need that playmaker now that Peanut's gone.
Right. I'm also going to be. Oh, hello, someone. Cool. I'm also going to be looking at the jungle position right here for SKT because they need to find some kind of consistency from there. I think if you look at Kingzone's weaknesses, realistically, jungle is the one place you could potentially attack. Not necessarily because I think the jungle of not because the jungle of Kingzone is weak with Peanut, but Peanut is a very hit or miss player. He's more likely to hit than he is to miss, obviously. Yet again, it's hard to say like he's 100%. Hi Christian, we're doing League of Legends. Do you have anything to say about Kingzone Dragon X?
I like him.
Okay, thank you. Anyways, like I was saying, I think Peanut is inconsistent, or can be inconsistent, and he can be exploited if you can map him out correctly, which is something SKT has done in the past. Or they had Peanut. Something that has been done against Peanut in the past. So SKT should know the playbook on kind of like, okay, here's what we have to do in order to curtail this guy's effectiveness. And then on the other side, Cuz was the weak point of this ex-Longzhu lineup from last year. So it's going to be hard for SKT to do so, but I think if the SKT jungler, whether it be Blank or Wolf, if they can find if they can dominate
the jungle.
Yeah, it's so funny. I keep just picturing him as like.
I like that he's actually listed as a jungler, like on the
everything. Wolf broke free. He's like, fuck playing Braum and Tahm Kench for the rest of my life. But I think if the if whichever SKT jungler steps up, if they can have a good series, then SKT has a shot. It starts in the jungle for SKT because I think
that's fair.
Bang definitely needs help, but I don't know if Bang is necessarily going to create his own win condition against Prey Gorilla with a rookie support.
That's true too.
Yeah, it seems pretty rough. All right, let's move on. You want to talk about? I didn't really watch any LPL this week. From what I heard, RNG got upset by somebody, but it's week 2, so nothing matters.
I think RNG lost to.
I say nothing matters as we discuss week 2 in LCK. Week 2 in LPL matters not. Everybody and their mom makes it to playoffs, and it's like you see the real teams when playoffs come.
Basically, RNG lost to LGD, but I mean,
oh Jesus Christ,
it's week 2. I think it's worth at least noting that like Rogue Warriors is looking fairly well. Billy B Gaming. Or Billy, however you pronounce that. They're 3-0 right now.
Billy B, I like it.
They haven't really played. Well, I mean, they played Vici Gaming. They 2-1.
Beating Vici isn't impressive.
But they beat. They 2-1 WE though.
Who they beat?
WE.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take that one. I'll take that one to the bank. But it's also like regular season WE, so like whatever.
Sure.
But to the people who keep hyping up Vici Gaming because it's like, oh, this is the Nazir meta. EasyHoon's going to pop off. EasyHoon hasn't popped off. He's had good metas in the past, and he's still, like... he's on Vici. No, he's not popping off. Like, if he was popping off, his ass would be back in Korea.
That's true.
Like, how many times have we seen this before? Ex-Korean mid laner who made his name in Korea goes over to China to, like, a mid-tier team. They never cut him. He fails to perform, but he's never the problem, right? Like, he's still built around. You can't say like guys like Rookie and Doonby, these Koreans who are lifers in the LPL,
Yeah,
or at least like made a name for themselves in the LPL.
They're the jobbers of the world.
They're not the jobbers. I'm gonna say they're like homegrown Chinese talent with like Korean mindsets, basically.
That's true.
But these guys who get imported after their prime, basically, like I don't know why people still expect shit from them. Like no.
Yeah, it's like there's a reason they're not in the LCK. Like
yeah, exactly.
If they were good, they'd be in the LCK. I mean, not that they're not good, but if they were still like top tier,
if he wasn't making
everyone.
Like think about it like this: if Easy Hoon was not making mad bank, would he still be on this team, or would he try and go back to Korea? Right?
Yeah, true.
And if the answer is he would try and go back to Korea to be competitive, then I'd be okay with that. Right? But then if you're like, if you look at his gameplay and you're like, yeah, he seems kind of he seems fine here, then that's like, well, he's doing it for a paycheck then. Like his time has passed. Just shut up. Basically, I'm just asking people to shut up. I know it's in a zero meta. It's not Easy Hoon's time is gone. Let's move on.
Yeah,
let's move on.
Done and gone.
Rippa. All right, let's talk about EU a little bit.
We have to.
Yes.
I guess we have to.
How badly do you not want to hear? Jesus.
No, I mean, like I'd say that EU was a little bit better than, I don't know if it's because I got like a good night's sleep before week one. We'll see week two because I'll be doing a lot of LCK this week, so we'll see how that goes. But it felt a little better than in past years.
For sure, yeah. And I think something interesting is that I think basically every team is 1-1 except for UOL and Vitality. We'll get to those in a bit. Right off the bat, G2 Esports took down Misfits Gaming. This is not the Misfits we knew. The Misfits we knew.
It's definitely not, no.
They're still decently good, though. Like, they're still, I think, top 4 in Europe. But, like, I don't know how much I like them compared to...
Yeah, they felt a lot different. I mean, especially, like, they got stomped in the opening game. I mean, they beat Schalke, but, like, it's Schalke, so, like...
Schalke.
Schalke. Is it Schalke?
Schalke.
Oh my god, it's like Schalke. Porsche. Jeez.
Yeah. Sorry, other languages exist. What do you want?
Look, man.
Hey, to be fair, Schalke had a pretty convincing win over Rocket, and Rocket ended up taking out G2.
That's fair, which I think
is like shout out to best of ones. I love these dumb upsets.
Yeah, seriously, it's so good because like if this was last split, I'm pretty sure G2 probably could have 2-1 them, but then I would have had to sit there and watch these teams play for 3 hours. So. Yeah. Thankfully, that didn't happen, and Rocket, shout out to Rocket for getting that
shout out
1-0 there.
Yeah, right, for sure. Other notable things: Fnatic took down Splice and then lost to H2K. Unicorns of Love went 0-2 on their opening week. They did not. I don't think they retained any members from their roster last year. Is that correct?
No, I believe they did. Let me pull up that roster.
Just their coach remained, right? I'm pretty sure the coach is still around.
Was that Exile was with him last week, right? Wasn't he? I think so.
Maybe.
Was he?
Maybe.
No, yeah, he was. Yeah.
I know Exile was in the league. But
yeah, Exile. He was. Yeah, summer 2017. He was their mid laner. So they got rid of 4 out of 5 player.
I recognize Samix.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, him and Samix.
But it was the playmaking core of their
3 out of 5.
Their best players, honestly. I think.
Vizitachi's gone.
Busy and Hillsang.
Hillsang's gone. Yeah.
And then okay. Let's not put Xerxes in their best players list. I'm not kidding.
I mean, I was just saying who left, not necessarily.
Yeah. I feel you. I'm just not sold on Xerxes.
I know you've never been sold on him.
I've never been sold on Xerxes. Nobody will ever convince me he's a top tier jungler. Because, like, he still breaks out Ivern as, like, a panic comfort pick, and I'm just like, you do nothing. Oh, my God. And it just, like...
when Ivern is your comfort pick, there's
yeah, when you're, like, patch all, like, okay, Jungle Pool's got pretty pinched. What do you want to do? You're just like, give me the Ivern, boys! And it's like,
just gonna fucking prance around and...
Yeah, I guess you're gonna be fucking useless unless somebody, like, chimps out and, like, hard shoves all in. Yeah. And this meta especially, it's like, caster supports. You can't even play caster supports in support. Like, why are you playing him in the jungle when you can be playing something useful? But wait, whatever.
Yeah, seriously.
Whatever. Anything stand out to you about Europe?
I mean, I think I thought it was interesting that Vitality is the only 2-0 team. Granted, they played H2K and Giants.
And this is a completely different H2K.
Yeah, a completely different H2K.
0% retention rate.
Completely different Giants too. Like Giants actually looked.
I honestly like Giants.
Yeah, I think they're return to the LCS
they're like
pretty good.
The EU Echo Fox, but like way less upside.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. I don't know. I like them.
I love when you do the like they're the EU version of this NA team or whatever. Like
it's my favorite.
They're always spot on. They're always so spot on.
Hey, it's what they pay me the little bucks for.
The little bucks for.
Hell, it's what you pay me the little bucks for. You little shit. Okay. Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean I think that's it. Like, and even looking at week 2, I don't really see any matchups that necessarily stand out to me.
Okay.
I think maybe Vitality Fnatic, that might be interesting.
It'll determine whether Vitality is legit.
Yeah.
Or conversely, if Fnatic's legit, because I'm pretty sure Fnatic's one win came from beating Splice, and I'm not sure how many wins Splice is going to get. They did beat Unicorns of Love, who looks like the weakest team in Europe by far, right?
Yeah, 100% the weakest team.
All right, and next week, Splice has 2 more matchups against projected lower tier teams in Schalke 04 and Roccat. So, I don't know. Might be an easy week for Splice, but at least with the second week coming, we'll be able to more clearly see where teams stand. We'll be able to that the tree will be shaken up a little bit more. So things
exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Let's move on to the NALCS. Oh baby. Okay. TSM sucks now. Cool.
Yeah. Like what? Like TSM is the Dallas Fuel of this league. Like what?
God damn it.
What happened? Like they're the like 15,000 time.
They only changed like 60% of their roster and all of their coaching infrastructure. Realistically, I think as a TSM fan, I want to freak out, but as like somebody with a brain, right? And I noticed the distinction I made.
Yeah.
TSM fans, y'all need to fucking calm down.
TSM fans and Optic fans, I think you're gonna have a fun time this.
They hop back and forth on different bandwagons.
They really do.
They're all scum. Scum of the earth, and I hate them. I'm kidding. I love.
But yeah, TSM like Zen and Messi.
Their bot lane's trying to get integrated. Mike Young's trying to get integrated, and they're all learning a new system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Under Coach Song, and like Rome wasn't built overnight, right? It took a while for Immortals to become the premier second best team in the NALCS that they were in the summer split, right?
Yeah,
It didn't happen overnight. It happened over the course of a couple of splits. So realistically, I think it's unfair that to figure out about this TSM roster since they didn't win their week 1 matchups.
Yeah.
If it's week 4 and they're still losing against teams they shouldn't be losing to, then I'm like, okay, what's going on here, boys?
Yeah, like if they lose to Optic this week,
did Optic win a game?
No, Optic's 0-2.
Okay, good.
And looked pretty rough in both games. So like if they lose to Optic, I think maybe if it's like a nuclear button, you flip over the cover of the panic button. You don't push it yet, but you're like, okay, what's happening here?
Give it some time. I think.
Like okay, we're ready, but we're gonna wait to see. But I mean, they've got some good matchups coming up. So
if this is truly a new TSM, then we have to wait for it.
Yeah, and like you said, they switched out literally 60% of their team. A completely different coaches like they have a completely different bot lane who is from a different region who is not used to this meta yet.
Maybe.
I mean, granted, the meta is not super different, but
yeah, it's just there's a lot of stuff different. So
yeah, so they just need time. But I think they'll figure it out. I don't think this is like the end of TSM and it's time to blow up the team or anything like that. Like
let's talk about week 1, guys. Yeah. But let's talk about some of the other O2 teams. Optic Gaming went long against 100 Thieves. I'll talk more about that game when we get to 100 Thieves, talking about them. Do you have anything to say about Optic right now, other than like it's exactly what everybody thought would happen so far?
Yeah, I mean it's
so far. It's only week 1.
So so far
conclusions.
Yeah, so far they look like the weak team that we thought they were going to be. So we'll see what happens. I mean, they've got.
Speaking of weak teams, Golden Guardians.
Golden Guardians, man,
they're playing the game.
It's a good thing that this is a franchised league now.
Yeah.
So these teams that paid millions of dollars to get to get their way into the LCS don't have to have their team get knocked back into relegation right
away. I swear
away.
to God, I watched both Golden Guardian games, and I can't tell you a single thing about them. I'm even looking at my notes right now, and I don't have anything of substance written. I just wrote down Golden Guardians lost, and like then I have notes on like the other teams they played against. I legit remember nothing. This is kind of sorry, lack of professionalism here, but like they are not bringing much to the table.
But I mean, I remember seeing the games, like they were on.
The games happened.
There were games that happened, but I don't really remember exactly anything that of substance from either side. So like,
right. It's hell yeah, I'm just fixing some shit. Let's go. Yeah, I think the Golden Guardians still are lacking a win condition right now.
Yeah,
but time will tell. I think the Optic versus Golden Guardians game, whenever that happens, will be. You know that picture from The Simpsons of the two monkeys fighting around in the ring? That's what I'm looking forward to right there.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a couple like that team, the Golden Guardians, Optic, like CLG.
CLG. Oh, you said I was waiting for you to say it because I didn't want to introduce. I didn't want to open the sore wound. Why? What the fuck's happening? Your boys suck.
Well, okay. First off, I just want to caveat that.
Okay.
They were my boys when Aframu was there.
Oh, okay.
Aframu was my boy.
Okay.
Like I feel like with the LCS, it's very much like the NBA. Like I'm a fan of a player, so I'm just like, all right, I'll follow him around. And like I still like CLG. I think they're like
no more, but you don't have that emotional attachment.
Yeah, like now it's like when I watch 100
Thieves, I can't tilt you when they lose, basically.
Exactly. Now you can tilt me when 100 Thieves lose. That's when I will get tilted.
Hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened. They look pretty good, but
CLG.
Speaking on CLG, I don't know. Like you would think that they would be doing a little bit better than they are because they still have some pretty good fundamental pieces. Like yes, you lost your shot caller. Like you lost your shot caller in Aframu, but like you gained a pretty good jungler in Rainover. Wild Frost is a pretty good support as well. So like I think that
maybe they're lacking in direction right now.
I mean, yeah, clearly because I mean, like they lost to Cloud9, and that one was.
CLG looked good early game, and then they kind of just like did nothing,
and then just crumbled.
Yeah, exactly.
And kind of same thing with 100 Thieves. Like 100 Thieves just kind of, did whatever they wanted.
No, let's be real. Hold on, which match was it? Was it CLG? Okay, in CLG versus C9, Rainover gave the long shaft to Svenskeren in the jungle. That was so fucking funny to watch.
Yeah.
At some point, like they fucked up a top dive and Darshan fed, and then I was like, okay, well, basically all of the early game.
And then it was over.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I like Rainover. I like him a lot. I think CLG will turn it around pretty soon.
Yeah,
I expect them to turn it around sooner than I do TSM.
Yeah, because like I said, they've got 60% of their team is the same. So all they had to do was just kind of integrate some new pieces, and especially like they kept like I think Darshan and Hughie are pretty good leaders for that team too. Not that 6A isn't, but I think 6A just seems like he does his job.
You remember CLG like released all those videos about their players? They're like shot caller, or they had some titles. Isn't 6A that supposed to be the caller?
Was he?
I don't know.
That could be. I don't know.
Maybe. Whoever's shot calling, they need whoever's shot calling, they're learning on the job. Let's just say.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because I think that is a pretty that's a pretty big factor that you have to think about because like Aframu was a very big shot caller. Like I mean, and he was for like 2.5 years. So like he made all the decisions.
He worked with Zix really. He worked with Zix a lot.
Yeah. So when you lose that piece, you really do have to kind of like you have to learn a skill because shot calling is not easy because you still have to do your job while paying attention to every other player to see where they're going, which objective you should push, and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's very much like it's an in-game leader from CS:GO. Like it's not something that you can easily do. So, but I think that they'll fix it in time.
Right. Okay. Let's start talking about some of the teams that are not unfortunate right now. Let's start with FlyQuest. Setting out 1-1, they got smashed by Echo Fox, and then conversely beat TSM in a really sloppy series. Do you think FlyQuest is for real, or do you think they beat a weak TSM? and so they have a 1-1 because they played against a team who's struggling the most right now in the league.
I think it's more of the latter. They played a weak TSM because if you look at their game against Echo Fox is pretty good this season, and
Echo Fox rolled them. Yeah,
they clapped FlyQuest. So
rolled them and smoked them, my dog.
Yeah, so I think they benefited from catching TSM at this weakened state to kind of salvage their opening week record to give them that 1-1. But it'll be interesting to see how they go going forward. I mean, they've got Golden Guardians and Optic coming up this week, so those should be 2-0s. If those aren't, or they should be 2-0 in the week. If they're not, then there's a problem. So I think if they don't end up with a 2-0 this week, then we can kind of be like, all right, what's going on? Yeah, for FiestaWatch. So
yeah, they have the easiest schedule next week. So fingers crossed they get their stuff together. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Who'd you like in their win over TSM? Just give me one name. Never heard of him.
I guess Flame was probably the best player.
Okay.
Or at least I think he did well enough. Like I think Wild Turtle still needs a little bit of time to adjust.
To what? He's the veteran on that team now.
Yeah, but like he's just like he seems so inconsistent.
I think that's just Wild Turtle.
That's fair.
Yeah, but, I agree with you though. I think.
But I think Anda's still working on getting into the league and all that kind of stuff. So, but I think
I'm done talking about FlyQuest. We're moving on. I love hosting the show. I just get to be like
you just pull us around or whatever.
Clutch Gaming. Let's talk about Clutch Gaming. I like this team a lot. They beat somebody.
Golden Guardians.
Okay,
so
yeah, good for
not
them.
Much.
And then they lost to Echo Fox. So from what I've seen, I think I like Clutch, and I think they are in the exact same place that Envy was last year. Agree? Disagree?
I agree. Yeah, I like them.
Do you think their off-season moves change any of the problems that core Envy had?
Not really. I think their off-season moves were good.
Still have a weak top laner.
Yeah, still have a weak top laner. I mean, Fabevin, that was a pretty good pickup for them for mid.
Yeah. Maybe he's not elite, but like he can do his job.
Exactly. So, but I think the fact that they kind of who did they lose to? Echo Fox. So like Echo Fox is really good.
Yeah. But okay, we keep saying Echo Fox. Anything else to say about Clutch before we move on?
Nah.
Okay, let's talk about Echo Fox here. Echo Fox is looking dominant right now. They came into this season as a very volatile team with a lot of combustible elements on there, but so far they've been looking great. In particular, Hooney's been looking good. Dardock's been doing his thing. Phoenix has been holding his own, and the bot lane's been holding their own too. Do you think this team is for real?
I mean, so far, yeah, I think they are.
Okay.
I really liked what I saw from them. Their wins were pretty convincing. So it wasn't like they just kind of, strung together, 2 wins by the skin of their teeth. Like they actually showed up pretty well.
They thoroughly won those games.
Yeah, and like it was FlyQuest who were still question mark about, and Clutch Gaming were high on but not super high on. So like it still wasn't like they beat an elite team. I think them playing Cloud9 this week will be a pretty good test early on to see. And I think once they beat 100 Thieves and Liquid as the season goes on, then we'll kind of start to see. But for now, I think they're
How about this week? Echo Fox has Cloud9 and TSM on the docket.
Yeah, so it's like that would be the question, like which TSM are they going to get? Like Cloud9, I think we know they're going to be the same no matter what. Like Cloud9 looks
pretty
strong.
Let's screw TSM. Do you think they'll beat Cloud9?
I think they will. Okay.
So
the way Cloud9 was winning their games, and the fact that Cloud9, they beat CLG and Golden Guardians. Like Golden Guardians, like
hey, Licorice popped off on Cloud.
Sure.
In that game too, yeah.
But I think Cloud9, or I think Echo Fox just has a really solid roster, and they seem to be clicking together pretty well so far. And especially with Cloud9, like as long as Svenskaren's in the jungle, like I'm never confident. Like
really, wow, that's unfortunate.
He just he just makes me feel so uneasy. Like it's like you never know when he's
been fine.
He's
got
been fine.
By Rainover, but he's fine otherwise.
Yeah, I mean he's fine until he messes up. Like that's the way he always. He's good until he makes it.
Has he messed up yet?
He hasn't. No. But I'm just waiting for that other shoe to drop, man.
Well, okay.
Just waiting for it to drop.
I think that might just be what TSM does to junglers, but
that's fair. That's fair.
100 Thieves. So when I was watching Europe and I saw H2K play, I was like, where did H2K go? And then 100 Thieves beat Optic in an hour, and I'm like, found him! And it's like, this team is the exact same as H2K. So they're obviously going to be the fourth best team in the world because they get an easy bracket when they squeak their way in the Worlds.
See, I didn't have to bring it up that time. You just brought it up yourself.
No, I read your mind, Wyatt. I saw it. But yeah, I like this 100 Thieves team. I think their peak right now is fourth best in the league. I don't think they're strong enough to contend with like Echo Fox, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they can consistently beat Cloud9. And then there's like, what about who's the third best team in the league for me right now? And I have to think about it a little bit. And then I'm like, wait, right, Liquid. Liquid looks incredibly strong. And Liquid's
they do. After like almost getting knocked out of.
Dude, it's amazing. It's amazing what happens when your owner is like, okay, let's get a coach, or like, okay, we got a coach. Let's get players that work together.
Let's get off the fucking Piglet train.
Yeah. Just like, let's start making sense again. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I like Team Liquid a lot. I think they're the number one team in the league. They deserve the spot. I think Echo Fox comes at a number 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like that Liquid roster, like Smithy looks just as good as he did last season. Ole is still a beast. Double Lift looked better than I've seen him in a little bit, I'd say.
A hot minute. Yep.
Yeah, like I think, with TSM he was there.
Your double?
Yeah.
I think we gotta remember like the domestic play versus international play. International, Double Lift did nothing and TSM did nothing as a team.
Sure.
Like, domestically they dominated. So I expect
that's true. Yeah, it's just Worlds is so fresh on my mind that's what I'm still thinking about Worlds. But I think Double Lift is still he's kind of back to form, looking pretty good.
Right.
Took down his former team.
Yep, good for him.
Doing well. Yep.
All right, let's go into some predictions to wrap us out. We're gonna start week 2. We're gonna do them all because there are only 10 games each week. God bless. Clutch versus CLG. Who you got?
I'm gonna go CLG. CLG pulls it out.
I got Clutch. We'll be interested to see. I think Clutch. I think Rainover versus Lyra should be a fun matchup, and then I think the rest of the map falls apart for CLG.
It's fair.
TSM versus Optic.
TSM better win. If they don't,
yeah, 6. They better win.
Yeah.
All right, Cloud9 versus Echo Fox. Here's gonna be this is a juicy one, right?
This is a good one. I'm going with Echo Fox though. I think they've got their roster's looking really good. They're clicking pretty well.
I think I agree. I don't think Cloud9's bot lane has done enough recently to like warrant them any like fear necessarily. Yeah. And if you look at Echo Fox, I think their weakest link is definitely their bot lane, even though it's like they're a solid bot lane, but they are the weakest link compared to all the other members. Tilt notwithstanding. So I'm not necessarily buying into the C9 hype because I think Phoenix can do a good enough job at staying even and neutralizing him, and then Dardoch and Huni are going to pop off. Because that's what they do, and I love it. I love it so much. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing. Do you remember when Dardoch was on Immortals and he had Flame?
Yeah.
They upgraded, and Echo Fox was like, okay, so you remember that Immortals team was actually pretty good? Okay. Upgraded bot lane, upgraded mid lane, and we're upgrading your Korean top laner. And Dardoch's like, oh, I'll never find again.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
Yep.
All right, 100 Thieves versus TL.
My heart says 100 Thieves, but I think I have to go with my analyst hat and say Liquid's going to take this one.
I think 100 Thieves might make it close, but I think Liquid...
Yeah.
Thieves might make it close. I think Liquid has too many tools. Golden Guardians versus FlyQuest. FlyQuest by virtue of not being Golden Guardians.
Yep, FlyQuest. Golden Guardians is terrible.
Hell
Which
yeah.
brings me so much joy, because I hate the Warriors, so it brings me so much joy to see their team.
Let's go. Echo... All right. Hate boner aside. Next day, Echo Fox versus TSM. Why is Echo Fox going to win?
Echo Fox is going to win because even if TSM gets their shit together a little bit, it's not going to be enough yet to beat this Echo Fox team.
Yep, Bjergsen cannot. If Bjergsen can't hard carry his team out into a win against FlyQuest, he's not doing it against Echo Fox.
Yep.
Because Bjergsen hard carried. I know we didn't touch on this, but like Bjergsen got a lot of random hate, and it's like, dude, he's the only player on TSM.
Yeah, like both games, he played well.
He was the best player on the map for his team. Like,
yeah.
And
what more do you want from this man? Like, come on.
It's like, you're such a KDA whore. It's like, no, he's doing his fucking job. Everybody else is like sucking dick.
Like he's the only thing that's gonna help them win the games at this point. So
why weren't you doing more as Xerath? It's like he was doing everything, literally everything Xerath can do.
And then I think in the game against FlyQuest, he was like 4-0-5. Like, what the fuck do you want from him?
Yeah, you're full KD. Like, get off the man's dick. Jesus.
Fans are terrible.
C9 versus 100 Thieves. This should be a good one.
This should be a good one. I think this is gonna be the match that decides kind of like that the third spot in the league.
Yeah. C9 has actually a tough schedule this week with Echo Fox and 100 Thieves. Maybe
they really do.
Yeah, but who do you like this one? Who do you like for this one?
I think I'm gonna go with 100 Thieves because I feel like that they have enough to contend with Cloud9 right now, especially because Cloud9 still is trying to gel with like this newer roster. I mean, the same can be said for the 100 Thieves, but I think 100 Thieves will pull it out.
Okay. I haven't thought about this actually. I think it's gonna be close.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cloud9's familiarity with each other will win out in the end. But like I said, I expect it to be very close. So if 100T wins, I won't be surprised necessarily, because I think this on paper is a very close matchup. But like my X factor is just experience with each other and like team cohesion. So C9 has that edge. Optic Gaming versus FlyQuest. FlyQuest will win by virtue of not being Optic.
Yep.
Cool. Golden Guardians versus CLG.
CLG. I mean, like if you lose to, you better lose to this team. Don't do it. Don't do it.
TL versus Clutch Gaming. I think if 100 Thieves doesn't beat, or who did TL beat last week? They like smashed somebody.
Maybe.
Oh no, sorry. Clutch can't. If Clutch can't beat Echo Fox, I remember remembering this backwards. If Clutch can't beat Echo Fox, then Clutch can't beat Liquid.
Yeah, they're not going to beat. Liquid's just too good right now.
Again, it might be a close match. Actually, no. Liquid's gonna win. I'm just like losing my mind here for a second. Like, what if?
I was like, you just called Team Liquid the best team in the league, and you say they're gonna lose to Clutch.
Okay. I think Clutch has a better chance of beating Liquid than I think they do of beating Echo Fox right now.
Okay.
Because like Liquid doesn't just like Echo Fox hard styles on you and then teabags your corpse, whereas Liquid just wins the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, Echo Fox is just so head and shoulders above other teams in terms of like mechanical skill, and then like their rotations are decent, their macro plays decent. Whereas TL is just like they're just a solid team with solid macro, and everybody does their job well. And I think in it, like strong heart performances from like Lyra can overcome that, and maybe if Febby steps up and goes huge, then maybe he can do something against Babelter. But like, it's not going to happen. I'm just arguing that it's more likely that Clutch beats Liquid than they do Echo Fox. I don't know why I cared so much to go into this diatribe, but there you go.
Of course. You're the host. I'm not gonna. If you want to rant, you rant. No.
Hey man, do you like at least agree with me where you say no? Like, don't just stare at me blankly.
Look, man. Sometimes when you rant, I just like to take it all in.
All right. Well, unfortunately, there's nothing left to take in. We're done with League of Legends for the week. Next week, we'll get you some patch notes. We'll see how that gets. We'll talk about how that's going to be integrated into Pro Play, as well as have some updates for you across the 4 major regions. Wyatt, if the people didn't know where to find you, obviously you can go to the links below our faces. But why do we even do our outro?
Yeah, I feel like we don't really. Now that we're doing this live.
We have audio listeners. I'm terribly sorry. If you listen to our audio podcast, you can find me at RW_Noah Walter, and I love you for listening to our audio podcast. Thank you very much.
And if you guys want to find me, I'm at Mr. Don, and we talk about League of Legends, Overwatch, all that good stuff.
I went on a journey of discovery within the course of one sentence. Oh my lord. Okay.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, okay, we're done. That's going to do it for us. League of Legends has fried our brains. Join us next week around the same time, same place. stick around because coming up next, we've got Around the Hoot, our Overwatch League podcast, right before the Overwatch League starts. So don't touch that browser. We will be right back.